What if the secret to a long, vital life isn't about adding more, but about removing what isn't needed? We are told to race against time, but what if we could learn to walk with it? Stay until the end, for the final practice is not a practice at all, but a shift in your entire state of being. Cultivating stillness. The day begins not when the body moves, but when the mind arrives. For so many of us, the first act of the morning is an act of aggression against ourselves. An alarm, a jarring sound, pulls us from a state of rest into a state of immediate reaction. And what is that first reaction? It is to reach for a device, to immediately flood the mind with the thoughts, anxieties, and demands of the outside world. We invite 1,000 voices into our head before we have even had a chance to listen to our own. This is the first mistake. It is a fundamental misunderstanding of how to build a foundation for a clear and stable day. If the first stones you lay are scattered and uneven, how can you expect the structure you build upon them to be strong? The morning is a sacred and silent time. It is a bridge between the world of dreaming and the world of doing. To rush across this bridge is to miss the view, to miss the opportunity to orient oneself. So the first practice, the most essential pillar, is to do nothing. This concept of doing nothing is often met with resistance in a world that glorifies productivity. We feel a sense of guilt if we are not immediately moving, planning, or consuming information. But we must ask ourselves, what is the quality of that movement? What is the clarity of that plan? Often it is clouded by the residue of sleep, by a mind that is not yet fully awake. The practice of stillness is simply this. Upon waking, before your feet touch the floor, before the phone is in your hand, you simply remain. You sit or you lie, and you allow yourself to arrive. You notice the quality of the air, the gentle light entering the room, the feeling of the blankets on your skin. You turn your attention inward. You do not force it. You do not command it. You simply observe. You become a gentle witness to your own state of being. How does the body feel this morning? Where is their tightness? Where is their ease? What is the weather of the mind? Is it clear, or are there clouds of thought already beginning to gather? In these first few moments, you are not trying to solve anything. You are not making a to-do list. You are not judging the thoughts that arise. If a worry about the day appears, you see it, you acknowledge it as you would a cloud passing in the sky, and you let it go. This is a profound act of self-mastery. It is the training of attention. The ability to choose where your focus lies is the single greatest skill one can develop for a life of clarity and purpose. By starting the day in this manner, you are declaring a simple truth. I am in control of my attention. The world and its demands can wait. First, I will establish my own center. I will find my own ground. This is not selfish, it is necessary. A calm mind is a compassionate mind. A stable mind is a creative mind. And centered mind is a mind that can serve others from a place of abundance, not from a place of depletion. This practice might last 5 minutes. It might last 20. The duration is not the point. The intention is the point. The intention is to honor the transition into a new day with awareness rather than with frantic, unconscious reaction. This is the foundation upon which a life of vitality is built. It is a quiet rebellion against the noise of the modern world. And what we find in this stillness is remarkable. We begin to notice the subtle patterns of our own mind. We see the habitual anxieties, the recurring stories we tell ourselves. By seeing them clearly in the quiet light of the morning, without the distraction of the external world, they begin to lose their power. They are no longer a terrifying, unseen force that drives our actions. They become observable phenomena. This act of observation creates a space between our true self, the observer, and the transient thoughts and emotions. In that space lies freedom. The freedom to choose our response rather than being a slave to our reactions. A long life is not merely a measure of years, it is a measure of the quality of our moments. If our moments are filled with reactivity and mental chaos, a long life can be a heavy burden. But if our moments are infused with awareness and a quiet sense of inner stability, then each day, each year becomes a gift. This is why stillness is the first and most crucial habit. It is the art of beginning the day from a place of peace, so that we may carry that peace with us, no matter what the day may bring. It costs nothing. It requires no special equipment. It asks only for a few moments of your time and a willingness to be with yourself just as you are. Unifying body. Once the mind has found its center in stillness, the next step is to gently awaken the body. This is not about punishment. It is not about forcing the body into a strenuous workout to atone for a perceived sin of inactivity. It is a continuation of the same principle of gentle, aware attention. The body is our vessel. It is the temple in which the mind resides. For a lifetime of vitality, these two must be in harmony. They must communicate. The morning is the perfect time to open that line of communication. So, after your period of stillness, you begin to move, but you move with a quality of listening. The practice is to unify the mind and the body, so they are not two separate entities, one commanding and the other obeying, but a single integrated whole. This can take the form of simple, gentle stretching. As you reach, you are not just thinking about the muscle, you are feeling it. You are breathing into the sensation. You are asking the body with kindness to open. Where do we hold the tensions of yesterday? Often it is in the shoulders, the neck, the lower back. These are the physical manifestations of mental stress. Through slow, mindful movement, we are not just stretching muscle tissue. We are releasing stored up emotional energy. We are telling the body that it is safe, that it can let go. You can imagine your breath as a warm, healing current. As you inhale, you gather energy. As you exhale, you direct that current to any area of tightness or discomfort, and you feel it soften. This is not a mechanical process. It is a loving conversation with your physical self. Our bodies are incredibly intelligent. They are constantly sending us signals, but we are often too busy, too distracted to listen. This morning practice is a dedicated time for listening. Does the knee feel weak today? Does the hip feel tight? You notice this information not with judgment, but with curiosity. This is valuable data that can guide your actions for the rest of the day. Perhaps you will take the stairs more slowly. Perhaps you will choose to walk instead of sit during a break. The body tells us what it needs, if only we would create the space to hear it. This practice of unification does not need to be long or complex. Even 10 minutes of dedicated mindful movement can radically change the course of your day. It could be a sequence of familiar stretches, a simple Tai Chi or Qigong form, or even just slowly and deliberately moving each joint in your body from your toes to your neck. The key is the quality of the attention. Are you present with the sensation? Are you moving with your breath? Or is your mind already racing ahead, thinking about breakfast or the first email you need to send? The goal is to keep the mind and body in the same place at the same time. When you are stretching your arm, your entire world for that moment is the sensation in your arm. This level of focus is a form of meditation in itself. It calms the nervous system and brings a profound sense of groundedness and embodiment. We spend so much of our lives in our heads, disconnected from the physical reality of our existence. This practice brings us back home to our bodies. And the long-term benefit of this is immense. A body that is listened to is a body that will serve you well for many, many years. By attending to small stiffnesses and discomforts each morning, you prevent them from becoming chronic injuries later on. You are performing daily maintenance on your most precious physical asset. This creates a relationship of trust and respect with your body. It ceases to be a thing that you drag through life, and it becomes a partner, a source of wisdom and strength. This partnership is the very essence of physical vitality. Vitality is not about having the biggest muscles or running the fastest marathon. It is about a sense of ease, freedom, and energy in your own skin. It is the ability to move through the world with grace and without pain. This state of being is accessible to everyone at any age. It begins with the simple, humble act of starting each day by asking your body, "How are you?" and then having the patience to listen to its answer. This is how you build a body that can carry you with health and joy for 90 years or more. Nourishing temple. After we have cultivated stillness in the mind and unified it with the body, the next pillar is to nourish the physical vessel. But just as the movement was not merely exercise, the first meal of the day is not merely about consumption. It is a conscious act of providing the temple of the body with the clean, high-quality fuel it needs to function optimally. The principle here is one of intention and simplicity. What we eat is important, but how we eat is equally, if not more, important. In the morning, the digestive system is just waking up, much like the rest of us. To flood it with heavy, complex, or highly processed foods is another act of aggression. It forces the body to divert a tremendous amount of energy to digestion, leaving you feeling sluggish, foggy, and tired just when you want to feel clear and energized. The morning meal should be light, warm, and easily digestible. It should be a gift to your body, not a burden. Think of the food you eat as a form of information. What information are you giving your cells with your first meal? Are you providing them with life-affirming nutrients, with hydration, with things that are easy to recognize and assimilate? Or are you giving them a complex puzzle to solve, filled with artificial ingredients and chemical compounds that the body does not understand? The choice we make here sets the tone for our physical energy for the entire day. Simple foods are often the most profound. A warm bowl of oatmeal, a simple vegetable soup, some steamed greens, or a piece of fruit. These are things that the body welcomes. The focus should be on whole, natural foods, prepared with a minimum of fuss. This is not about restrictive dieting or adhering to a rigid dogma. It is about listening to your body as we did in the previous practice and providing it with what it is asking for: simple, clean energy. But the act of nourishing goes beyond the food itself. It extends to the environment and the mindset in which you eat. Do you eat standing over the sink, scrolling through your phone, your mind a million miles away? If so, you are not truly nourishing yourself. You are simply refueling. To truly nourish, you must be present. The practice is to eat your morning meal in silence, or at least away from screens and distractions. You sit. You take a moment to look at your food, to appreciate where it came from, the energy it took to grow and to arrive on your plate. This simple act of gratitude changes your relationship with the food. It is no longer just stuff. It is a life-giving substance for which you are thankful. And as you eat, you do so slowly. You chew thoroughly. You pay attention to the flavors, the textures, the temperature. You are engaged in a sensory experience. This mindful approach to eating has a powerful physiological effect. It improves digestion, it allows the body's satiation signals to work properly so you do not overeat, and it cultivates a sense of peace and satisfaction. This practice of mindful nourishment builds upon the previous pillars. The stillness you cultivated allows you to be present. The connection to your body allows you to choose foods that will truly serve it. This is how a holistic practice is built, where each element supports the others. A life of health and longevity is not the result of one single hack. It is the cumulative effect of small conscious choices made day after day. Choosing to nourish your temple with care each morning is one of the most powerful choices you can make. It is a declaration of self-respect. It says, I value this body, I value my health, I will provide myself with the best possible foundation for this day. Over time, this practice changes not only your physical health, but your entire relationship with food. Food ceases to be a source of conflict, guilt, or desire, and it becomes a simple, joyful tool for creating a vibrant, energetic life. It is another step on the path of self-mastery, turning a mundane daily activity into a profound practice of awareness and care. Sharpening mind. With the mind centered, the body awakened, and the temple nourished, the ground is now fertile for the fourth practice, to consciously sharpen the mind. The first three pillars were primarily about receiving, listening, and stabilizing. This pillar is about a more active and directed form of mental cultivation. A long and vital life is not just about a healthy body, it is about a mind that remains curious, engaged, and clear. Just as an unexercised body will atrophy, a mind that is not actively used will grow dull. The morning, after the foundational practices are complete, offers a golden window of opportunity for this. The mind is calm, the body is energized, and the distractions of the day have not yet taken full hold. This is the time to engage in an activity that refines your focus and expands your understanding. It is the act of pointing your newly stabilized consciousness toward a worthy object of attention. This practice is not about consuming junk food information. It is not about scrolling through news feeds or social media, which often serves only to agitate the mind and scatter our focus. Instead, it is about choosing to read something of substance. This could be a few pages from a philosophical text, a spiritual scripture, a book of poetry, or a work of classic literature. It is about engaging with ideas that have stood the test of time, ideas that challenge you, inspire you, and provide a deeper context for your own life. The purpose is not to acquire information for the sake of it, but to train the mind to think deeply and to contemplate. By spending 15 or 20 minutes with a profound text, you are setting a high intellectual and spiritual tone for your day. You are reminding yourself that there is more to life than the immediate and the urgent. There is the timeless and the important. Alternatively, this practice can take the form of setting a clear and powerful intention for the day. This is more than a simple to-do list. A to-do list is about what you need to do. An intention is about how you want to be. After your period of reading or contemplation, you can take a few moments to sit quietly and ask yourself, what quality do I wish to embody today? Perhaps it is patience. Perhaps it is compassion. Perhaps it is courage. You choose one quality, you hold it in your mind, you feel what it would be like to move through your day with that quality as your guide. This act of setting an intention acts as a compass. Throughout the day, when you are faced with challenges or difficult situations, you can return to your intention. It becomes an anchor that pulls you back to your chosen state of being, preventing you from being swept away by the currents of reactivity and external events. It is a way of proactively shaping your experience of reality. This sharpening of the mind is the bridge between your inner world and your outer world. The first three practices fortified your inner state. This fourth practice prepares you to carry that inner state into the world with purpose and clarity. It prevents the day from simply happening to you. It makes you an active participant in the creation of your day. A mind that is regularly sharpened and directed in this way retains its plasticity and its power well into old age. It does not become rigid or stuck in its ways. It remains open, adaptable, and capable of learning. This is a crucial component of long-term health. The health of the mind and the health of the body are inextricably linked. A sharp, clear, and purposeful mind sends signals of vitality and engagement to every cell in the body. It is the captain of the ship. By ensuring the captain is awake, alert, and has a clear map, you ensure that the journey of your life will be a well-navigated one, full of meaning and discovery, right to the very end. Embracing emptiness. This brings us to the final practice, which, as I mentioned, is in many ways not a practice at all. It is a mindset that you carry with you from the morning into the rest of your day. After you have cultivated stillness, unified your body, nourished your temple, and sharpened your mind, there is a tendency to want to hold on tightly to this feeling, to protect it from the chaos of the world. But this is a mistake. The final pillar is the wisdom of letting go. It is the practice of embracing emptiness. What does this mean? It means understanding that the structure of the morning routine is not the goal in itself. The routine is a boat that you use to cross a river. Once you are on the other side, the side of clarity and stability, you do not need to carry the boat on your back for the rest of the day. You leave it at the shore. The emptiness is the space that this letting go creates. It is the freedom to fully engage with whatever life presents without being attached to a specific outcome or a specific inner state. This is perhaps the most subtle and most powerful principle for a life of true vitality. It is the understanding that true strength is not rigid but fluid. Think of a bamboo stalk in a storm. It bends, it yields, but it does not break. because it is hollow on the inside. This hollowness, this emptiness, is its strength. In the same way, once you have established your center in the morning, the task for the rest of the day is to move with this quality of open, receptive awareness. When you are washing the dishes, you are just washing the dishes. You are not trying to maintain a meditative state. You are simply present with the warm water, the soap, the sound of the plates. When you are speaking with another person, you are truly listening with an empty, open mind, not just waiting for your turn to speak or trying to defend a position. You are available to the moment exactly as it is. This embrace of emptiness dissolves the separation between your practice and your life. Every moment becomes the practice. Every activity, no matter how mundane, becomes an opportunity to be present and aware. This is where true mastery lies. It is not in being able to sit on a cushion for an hour in perfect stillness. It is in being able to carry that quality of stillness within you as you navigate a traffic jam, deal with a difficult colleague, or receive unexpected news. The morning routine gives you a taste of clarity, a reference point. The rest of the day is the training ground where you learn to find that clarity in the midst of motion and complexity. This requires trust. You must trust that the foundation you built in the morning is strong enough. You must let go of the need to constantly check on it, to protect it. It is there. It has become a part of you. This is the secret to why some people seem to grow more vital, more peaceful, and more luminous with age. They are not fighting against life. They are not trying to control every moment. They have learned to dance with it. They have found the perfect balance between structure and spontaneity, between discipline and surrender. Their mornings provide the structure, the discipline. The rest of the day is a surrender to the flow of life, navigated with the wisdom and stability gained from that morning practice. They embrace the emptiness, the not knowing, the space between things, because they understand that this is where all possibility resides. This is where joy, creativity, and genuine connection happen. It is not something you add to your life. It is what you discover when you finally stop trying to add anything at all. This journey, from the first moment of stillness to the final surrender into the flow of the day, is the path to a life that is not just long, but deep. It is a life that is not measured by its duration, but by its quality of presence. The goal is not to arrive at age 94 as a final destination. The goal is to inhabit each day, each moment, with such a profound sense of vitality and awareness that the concept of age becomes irrelevant. You are not racing against time. You are dwelling within it, fully, completely, and peacefully. This is the first time I've heard a perspective on health that didn't feel like a battle to be won. The idea of embracing emptiness and letting go of the routine after it's done, that's the part I always get wrong. I try to white-knuckle my way through the day holding on to that morning peace, and it always breaks. This reframes everything. It's not about holding on, it's about trusting you're changed by it. Truly profound. Thank you.